All right, ladies, gentlemen, gamers, and Dragon Ball enthusiasts and lovers, welcome back. So, I recently played Dragon Ball The Breakers, and oh boy, oh mama, where do I want to start with this game and my initial impressions? Originally, I was told from friends, and I kind of put this idea in my mind, that this was going to be like Dead by Daylight. And for some aspects of the game, it definitely is. But overall, it really isn't. It might take some inspiration from Dead by Daylight, and it might be sort of in the same genre as Dead by Daylight, but it really is not Dead by Daylight. First of all, the main difference is it's a 7v1 game. 7 survivors versus 1 raider, where the general premise of the game is you have to collect different time keys to power up the super time machine, which restores everything and you win. Because there's this whole time nonsense to the story, which we'll go into soon. But there's different phases. There's not just this phase in the beginning where you collect things, you summon the time machine, and win. It's a little bit more in depth than that. The first phase is to find the keys in several different areas and then put the key down in that area. And once you get them all down in every area, you summon the time machine, or the thing that activates the time machine while avoiding the raider. Once you find the keys and summon it, you have to charge it. If you charge it all the way, you win as a survivor. If it gets destroyed, you can then summon a mini time machine that you could then use to pick up the other raiders and try and escape. But the mini time machine is sort of like a last resort sort of thing where it's not a guaranteed win for everyone. While the super time machine, if you activate the charging machine, is an instant win for everyone in the game that's a survivor. So the Raider's role is pretty much the opposite as you would expect of the characters, where he has to hunt them down and prevent them from doing what I just described. Although there are other things that he could do as well, which is hunt civilian NPCs, which is actually beneficial and they're encouraged to do because that charges their evolution level, which they use to evolve to a different form and get more powerful. So what's cool about this is each raider, after getting an evolution, has a super move they can use that can eliminate a whole area. There's like sometimes 7 areas in a map, and they could just choose to destroy that area and make it unplayable. So if a key was placed in that area is just destroyed, and that whole progress that was made was for nothing. And it's pretty funny because that whole area goes to shit. So imagine you just finished exploring a whole area for a key. You find the key in the area. You find the area where you're supposed to put the key down. And you're like, alright, good, I did that area, let's move on to another one. The dickhead raider can just be like, oh, I see you just did all that, let me wipe out the area and make it so it's irrelevant what you just did. It's pretty fucking funny. It shows that there is some depth to the game because you could try and play mind games with the raider. You can maybe make him think you're doing stuff in one area, have it, and you could do stuff in another. But overall, and sometimes it's not even beneficial for the raider to destroy an area because then that's less areas you have to search. So there is definitely some depth to it. Now, the different raiders that are in the game, in the beta playtest that we played, or that I played, there's only 2. It's Frieza and it's Cell. And they kind of pigeonholed themselves here, where they can't really add too many people, at least lore-wise they can't really add too many people, because any raiders they have to add have to have transformations. So the 3 off the bat that we know are going to be in the game, and I'm assuming they're going to release more in the future, is Frieza, Boo, and Cell. And that's because they have at least 3 transformations, and that goes in turn with the level system. So the 2 raiders they give you are pretty unique, and they do have their differences from the early playstyles from what I can tell. However, I say what I can tell because I don't really know, because I was only able to play 1 raider as I was playing the whole game, and the whole time I played the game, which was not for a little bit, by the way. I played this for a decent amount of hours so far, and I only got to play as the raider in either 1 or 2 games. I don't really remember, but it was not a lot, but we'll get into that later. So maybe things will be different in the full release because this is a beta playtest, but the first thing that really shocked me was this game had a fucking story, and my god does it feel like ass. In Dead by Daylight, there is a story, but it's really not there in the gameplay. It's kind of in the background, you kind of have to look for it, and it's not really at the forefront of things. The First thing you do in this game is you get introduced to the story. The story is generic, it feels tacked on, it's fucking with stupid, goofy looking side characters that are so bland and idiotic that it's just so funny and it's bad. One of the idiot characters that you meet in the story, it's like if you took an otaku from the real world and you put him into the story. He literally has a point where he's like, wow, I can't believe all of this is happening and I got transported from my world. Oh my god, is that really the Cell? I always wanted to meet him. I'm so excited. Let's go up to him. And then the other characters are like, what is wrong with you? He's trying to kill us. It's basically like a bootleg isekai, but with time travel. Like, it's so fucking bad.
Was the bio-android that terrorized Earth a really long time ago?
Or did we just grab him out of like the time stream or some
This is
bullshit?
incredible. I never thought I'd ever actually see him with my own eyes.
You like
I
this
wanna get a
shit?
closer look.
Oh my god, what is wrong with this guy?
Count me out.
The tutorial they give you with this garbage story, by the way, lasted for like a whole hour. The worst part of this tutorial is that aside from the bare basics that it teaches you, that it takes a long time teaching you, realistically, everything it teaches you, you can figure out within the first 5 minutes of actually playing the fucking game. It really doesn't teach you jack shit about the actual specifics you need to know. The fucking loading screen menu sometimes has better information that scrolls through there than the 1 hour story tutorial hybrid piece of shit that they give you. You get to make your own character in this game too because it's a story about you. And oh my god, I think you know where this goes because some people made stupid ass looking characters and it just overall takes away from the seriousness of this game. I don't know if this game was supposed to be serious, but oh my god, is it not? It really isn't. Oh lord. Ew, look at the guy next to me! Ew. He's so ugly, why do people choose the Chaozu eyes? After I was done with the tutorial and I landed on like the main hub or main space that you're gonna go to when you play this game, I then had to read the real fucking tutorial, which was at that point just paragraphs and paragraphs of text, which even then still did not fucking tell me the specifics that I wanted to know. One of the biggest important things that I don't understand why they don't explain to you is the items in the game that are actually usable active items. They don't tell you what they do. A lot of stuff in this game in general just doesn't get explained to you in any good or cohesive way. And most of the stuff in this game, you just have to figure it out on your own. And for a good chunk of it, for the good chunk of the beginning time I was playing, I just had to guess about stuff, and it led to a lot of frustration. It was really fucking bad. So, remember how I said this game was sort of like DBD? Aside from the beginning phases where you're kind of running away from the raider and trying to find the keys and stuff, that's pretty much where the similarities end. You can actually kill the fucking raider in this game, and it's so funny to see how that actually happens sometime. The game was advertised as, wow, here are these 7 regular people without powers that have to be crafty to survive, you know, this raider who's trying to kill them, which is ironic, which is, you know, an iconic person who's evil in the Dragon Ball verse, a really powerful person. But in this game, with a gacha system, by the way, you can roll for the special, like, superhero characters, the good guys, that you can then equip to transform into them and gain their powers and then try and beat the raider. What the fuck? Literally in the trailer for one of the games, it says, oh, you're just a regular person and you're not like Goku. You do not have powers like Goku. Meanwhile, you can literally get Goku's power and use it. What the fuck?
About one of the most vicious antagonists from Dragon Ball against 7 ordinary citizens without superpowers.
They tried to make this balanced too, but in my playthrough of the game, oh my god, was the exact opposite. 9 times out of 10, the raider lost the game because it is just not favored towards them. It's not. The survivors have so many options, and with this stupid transformation bullshit that they do, paired with the other skills in the game that they have in their base form that they have to escape or just fuck with the raider, on top of the items that can then help them or fuck with the raider, it leads to the raider just getting fucked. It's so funny. They attempted to balance it with their level system by making the raider get levels faster than the survivors. So the raiders' levels, I believe, range from 1 to 4, but this depends on who you choose. However, I'm not too sure. So for instance, Cell has a larva stage, then he has, his first transformation, his second, then his third. So that's 4 right there. I don't remember how many Frieza has because, again, I never played Frieza. I wanted to, I just wasn't able to. But the survivors can level up as well. And if they transform into their super character, but they're under the level of the raider, they kind of just get outclassed. That's how it was supposed to be balanced. The raider can transform faster and gain levels faster than the survivors. But this isn't always the case. This is just the theory. A group of organized survivors will just shut the raider down because there's so many of them and they could do so many different things, like I said before, to fuck with the raider and slow them down. So a group of them can actively just choose to harass the raider, transform into their supers, attack him, fuck with him.
Ordinary citizens without superpowers.
At that point, a different group of survivors can actually do the objective. Or you could just hide out because sometimes it's really hard to find them in the huge-ass map. The map is pretty big. And a lot of the beginning time for the raiders, you have to spend trying to transform, at least for Cell. In Cell's first stage, you cannot attack anyone. You literally cannot attack anyone. If the survivors find you in your larva stage, you're literally just fucked. You have to find a civilian or wait out the time because you passively gain charge for your next level in the larva form, but it takes a while. And sometimes they give you no help in the larva form for Cell to find a human to eat to try and level up. You have to find one, and sometimes you really just can't find one. It's just luck sometimes. I don't know why the fuck they chose this, but at least give the larva form an ability to sense the humans. But no, they didn't want to do that. So there was one scenario also where it was really fucking bad, where the survivors fucked the raider.
Ordinary citizens without superpowers.
So I saw at one point in my game, everyone started transforming at once. Usually, the survivors will be below the level or at the level of the raider. It's half and half. Sometimes they're below, sometimes they're at the level. In this game, they were all at the level of the raider. Maybe you can make the argument because it's the beta, the raiders don't really know how to play. But at that point, this game isn't very friendly casual that you need to invest that much time to really learn how to play raider. Because these people had levels on their account. Everyone transformed at once and jumped the fucking raider. It was Cell. They jumped Cell and they beat him to a bloody pulp. They fucking chased him around the map. In what fucking horror game, or in what game where it's a survivor versus a villain, where you chase the villain and they're scared of you? It was insane. We all just transformed. One person transformed, then everyone did. We just surrounded Cell and beat the fucking shit out of him until he died. It was so unbalanced that it was fucking hilarious. It was so funny. What the fuck? What is going on here? What the fuck is happening? We're just ganging up on him. Oh my god, we're gonna kill him. We're gonna kill him. What the fuck? This is not a horror game. I don't know what this is. We actually just killed him. What the fuck is this?
Ordinary citizens without superpowers.
Now, the game itself is really mixed too, because it feels in some aspects like a very high quality game. The art and the visuals specifically are really, really cool. The art they have for the villains when they transform on the screen and on the HUD, it's actually really fucking cool. It's they really commissioned good artists for this, and it drives home a theme of fear, which is not present in the actual gameplay. And the coding for the game feels really solid. It's not really glitchy. It feels good. But the other aspects of the game, where you would think, okay, so if that part of the game is good, the other part of the game would be good too, right? Like I said, they already don't include explanations for a lot of things. So the tutorial system, I feel, is absolute ass. The menu system and the way they decided to do it, at least on PC, it feels just weird and off. For some menus, you can't use the mouse. For other menus, you can. The keys you would think would move to progress you to the next menu don't. Like, pressing the enter key sometimes does nothing. Sometimes you have to press F or some shit. I don't fucking know because it's so weird. You would think these keys would progress you. They don't. And sometimes they don't even tell you what keys would progress you. They just assume you're supposed to know from the last time you did it. So there was literally a point in the character creation screen where I was making my character and I didn't know how to go back to choose something else to modify a different section of my character, like the hair or the eyes. I was modifying if I was a boy or a girl, right? And after that, I was modifying the face. I didn't know how to get out of the face menu. And because I didn't know, it wasn't fucking like obvious on the screen. And I ended up just confirming my character and I locked them in and they looked like a basic bitch. Now, thankfully, later on in the game, you can update your character at any time. You can just change their look, which is good because they sell you cosmetics anyway. But, like, what the fuck was this? It just feels so off. Voice. There's only one voice. Wait, actually, how do I try it? Wait, no. Fuck. Fuck, no. No. What the hell? I wasn't done. I didn't know how to get into the... Yo, this menu is so ass.
Seems like things are coming.
Other times in the game, you actually just can't press escape to leave the game. You have to go through an option menu that gets you into the main menu, which then gives you the option to close and leave out the game. And like I said before, you have to figure this out because it's different and counterintuitive from every other game out there that does it the regular way. Why is it like this? I don't fucking know why, but maybe it's because this game just wanted to be different. For instance, right? There was a point where I didn't know how to change the volume of the game because the volume was loud. I went into the main menu of the game when you start the game. There's no options menu there. You have to wait till you get into game and then go through the menu in the game, which isn't even a pause menu, by the way. There's no pause menu in this game. You have to press tab to bring up the menu and then go through the options to find sound. It's like, it's so fucking weird. It's insane. Now, this game also has a main play area, but in the main play area, instead of having like a different menu to play the game and to get into a game, it's just always on your screen in the corner. It really feels like they didn't know what they were doing with the menus, or the person designing the menu system did it for the first time and they're straight out of college or something. It's just comical. The voice lines and animations for some of the characters just seem so out of place, where some of the villains will say a generic stupid line, but I guess it's kind of expected in this sort of game. It's already like a sort of isekai. Sometimes they say nothing at all, where like you're doing your super move when you win the game to kill them, and other times they do say something while they're getting killed, but this time they just say either a generic line or sometimes they'll just say nothing. And it leads to this awkward standoff face-off between the 7 people and the one raider, and it's just like, was he supposed to say something? I don't really know. And sometimes the voice lines don't even match up. They have some weird voice where it seems like they didn't have enough money to pay the actual voice actor to do the line. It was so strange.
No one does this to me.
That is not Cell's voice. What the hell? The other issue that I ran into is also the networking and the matchmaking. You know it's an issue in the game when they have a dedicated collection box in the game that tells you if you DC from a game or you disconnect, you can, and you can't claim your rewards at the end. This is where you could come. I thought I could give this game the benefit of the doubt. Like, okay, maybe they're doing this because it's the beta, the network might be shaky or whatever. But honestly, with all the shit I've seen with the menus and everything, I don't give them the benefit of the doubt, even if it's a beta playtest. I actually, a lot of times, tried to connect to games where the matchmaking time was not only wrong, where it said less than 1 minute, and it was way over a minute, but at the end, when I finally got matched, and I would connect to the game, I would just DC, and the matchmaking would fail. I had one specific time where this happened 3 times in a row, and they all gave me a different error, and I had to start over, and it was very frustrating. So, I don't know what sort of priority system they have in the game for choosing your role, because again, the game explains nothing, but it doesn't feel like it works. Because out of the tens of games I've played, I tried to get Raider, and either again, it disconnected me, or it only gave it to me once or twice. Every other time, I just got Survivor. Even though the priority number was going up, I never got Raider, and then it reset randomly as if I did get Raider. It was so confusing, and it just wasn't explained. It's like, bro, what the fuck? I don't understand how this game is this level of quality with the Dragon Ball name behind it. It's good in some aspects of the game, like the art, like I said, and the gameplay itself. It's very solidly made, but it's so trash in other aspects. And the worst part of it all, it has a paid gacha system in this game. You actually have banners you need to roll on to get the powers of the people you can transform into and their abilities. This is already supposed to be a $20 paid game. I understand this game is not $60, but come on. I would really expect a lot of the problems here, number one, not to be with the Dragon Ball game. And number two, not to be from a fucking paid game. I would expect this from a free game. It's like, what the hell? The whole premise and the gameplay with the shitty story, it's just laughable. And at times, it's honestly just like you have to suspend your disbelief. But once you give in and accept that this is nonsense, the game, funnily enough, is actually not too bad. It's so nonsensical if you go into it expecting something serious or something close to DBD or just something like good in general. But it's not bad to where it's very detrimental. It's bad to where it's just funny. It is fun at times. It is okay at times. But oh my god, it's bad. It's pretty fucking bad. I don't know how this game is going to survive. Overall, I would rate this game like 5 out of 10 Gokus. It's something fun, but it really is nonsense and bullshit with a good amount of issues that need to be fixed. But anyway, that's basically my first rundown of like my reactions and impressions from Dragon Ball The Breakers. I hope you enjoyed. If there's anything else you want me to try or talk about, please tell me in the comments below. I stream every day at Twitch TV/Tecnics channel. You can find me there. I would love to see you. And yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Eee!